Okay, so I had covered this story about 2.5 weeks ago, around 2 o'clock in the morning, and I know I did it in its entirety. When I just went to look at it, not only were the comments off, and I know that YouTube loves doing it, my video was somewhat cut short, and I don't understand why. So I am gonna just kind of recap what was lost in that video, and I was hoping that today I would hear something else going on with this story. But if you haven't heard, I'm just gonna just go ahead and start from pretty much what I know. A 29-year-old man, Arthur Hector Fernandez, was offered to watch two small boys. Now they are actually both 2 years old, two different women, you know, and he actually even has taken one to trick or treating on Halloween. So he got pretty close with these kids. I believe at least one of the women had said that she knew him, since last year, maybe 2022. I'm not sure because everyone got arrested in 2023, or should I say he got arrested in 2023. So she said she knew him last year. He worked at a jean company, and they said he's a former employee at the Mail Galleria. However, I don't know if he's now a former employee because of what he was doing there, or was he even a former employee there. But this woman is alleged to have worked at the kiosk there. I'm not sure about the other one, but they both did work there, and for some reason, they did not have adequate daycare of somebody watching their children. And for that, they are being thrown under the bus by letting, this man, who I guess one of the women was thinking this was her friend, watching her kids. And I'm not really defending them, but if you watch any of my stories on this channel, unfortunately, we have family members. We have close friends of the family that are watching these children and doing, unfortunately, the same crimes. We also have kids going to a daycare center where these crimes are happening. So it's pretty much open house on everyone, but it's even sadder when it's the babies that are involved in this sickness and really can't tell, a parent exactly what is going on, especially if they're being threatened. They don't even know what's going on. So Fernandez is watching these two children, and him and six other men go into the restroom at the Mall Galleria, and they pretty much essay open house on these two 2-year-olds. One just had on his diaper, which was open, and he was on a diaper changing table being assaulted. Another one was up in the air, and both of these little kids were screaming bloody murder. But obviously, I don't know if the doors was locked, but no one came, to their defense. No one came to their defense. So I think that this Hernandez guy, I believe Fernandez guy, I believe he's did this before. Most definitely, he's got too accustomed to this, and to be able to invite six other men, so a total of 7 men were SAing these children, and for him to be able to record it. They said the shortest recording was 26 seconds, and the other one was a little over a minute, and they had it on a website. They're calling it the dark web, but they had it on a website where you had to be invited in to view these videos. So, allegedly Hector, that's what he calls himself, on his locked social media page. I don't know if it's X or Twitter, or if it's the same shit. I don't know. But he has one that is locked, and it's still up there, so he didn't get a chance to delete it before he would get arrested. But he is the only one that is arrested, which disgusts me because we're the other 6 men. I'm sure that he knows. I'm sure he definitely knows. They was able to find Arthur Hector Fernandez by items in the videos, like his sneakers he had on and the bracelets. He was wearing the silver bracelets. And they was able to, in one article, I would match up the face of one of the children on a social media page to find out that it was indeed her child that was being violated. And it just, the only thing I would say to these women, if I ever had a chance to do it, was your child didn't seem different to you. They weren't crying or maybe just being a little over sexualized or maybe even not wanting you to even touch them. Like your children didn't act different after engaging with 7 different men, being recorded. And another thing, they were also verbally yelling stuff at these children, like, basically telling them to shut the fuck up and stop whining while they're assaulting them. So, I mean, these kids didn't act different. That would be the thing that I would definitely want to know. So, this video was uploaded on December 6th. Now, mind you, this has been going on. They dated an article since 2022. I don't know if with these children or this child or other children. I'm believing that he's been involved with other kids because you know what? Allegedly, Hector, he's a little bit too comfortable with violating people's children on camera, uploading it, and doing it with a number of other men. So I don't think that this was, the first situation that he did this. I just really don't. The complaint came in on December 14th, 2023. It was filed in Houston, Texas. And according to the Federal Bureau, it was contracted by the Australian Center to Counter Child Exploitation. So they all got involved and, was able to make out who this man was and who these children was. But I know that Fernandez is still in jail. But again, we haven't heard. Why hasn't anybody else in jail? I want to know who else is in jail. I want to know what they look like. I want to know what their names are. I definitely want to know what's going on with this case. When I look at other stories to see, they have nothing as well. They say that this is the story that they don't want you to know about because it's the LGBTQ. Well, I don't really think that's true, and I hope you don't think that's true, because if you look at any videos on my channel or anybody else's channel, you will see that heterosexual men will be pedos to the opposite sex, and it's still a child. You will also see females are, for some reason, are wording their students that are like 9, 10, 11, and 12 years old, and they're married with kids, but they're going to school and they're R-wording these kids. So, and they're heterosexual teachers that are messing with these little young boys. So just because you are involved in same-sex relationships doesn't mean that you're going to go out and, molest, the same-sex children. So that's horrible that people would think like that. You got to be wary of every damn body, not just the gay ones around you. You better be wary of these straight ones too. Most definitely. So, and he does sport, I think on one of his pages, he did have the rainbow flag or the rainbow symbol. So a lot of people say, oh, look at this. We have one of these now doing this to the kids, and that's pretty much where they ran with that. But I'm not going to run with that only because I know that more than gay people have engaged in pedophilia. It wasn't just gay people. It's been heterosexual people too. It's been family members too. It's been police officers. It's been teachers. It's been grandparents that never even touched their own kids, but they start to violate their grandkids. It's been all kind of sick shit out there. So I'm not going to just blame it on one community that sleeps with the same sex. I just won't. It is disgusting, and they do need to find these other men that most definitely was involved in this case. I hope one thing. I hope after all these men are prosecuted to the fullest, I hope that these babies, being that they only lived on this earth for 2 years, I hope that they don't remember this. I hope that it doesn't affect them in any way where they grow up to have this on their minds to where they don't live the best life that they should be doing, or they even emulate this type of circumstance themselves. I'm really hoping that these kids don't know anything about this. I'm hoping that they grow out of this. And definitely, they're going to have to be seeing somebody and talking to somebody to try to get past it, because this was a sick story. And it's so sad that it just stops right here. All we know is this sick fool is in jail, and I don't know if he's talking or not. But I look every day to see the change of something. And I definitely will continue and keep covering this story, Arthur Hector Fernandez.